ARTsmart Community Studio. Come on in, let me give you a quick tour.
One of the challenges involved in designing a space that you want to maintain a lot of flexibility is that you still have to create a matrix for that flexibility. And as a part of that, in this particular building, I designed a floor pattern that represented a number of ways that each studio could be set up. And in keeping with traditions in New Mexico, and particularly with the Navajo weavers, I connected all of the patterns in the floor with a spirit line. And that spirit line runs in through each of the studios, each of the spaces that's not carpeted, and eventually leads its way out the back door. So the spirit of the design has a way to come and go, not be trapped. It promotes harmony, feng shui, whatever philosophy you want to use, but that was the intent of it. And it's a part of our culture. It's a part of the design for ARTsmart.
My children had a very hard time academically, which many children do. So through the art classes, they found refuge, they found self-expression, they found honor, they found a gift that they had, a vision in their art classes, and it helped them grow. It helped them stay in school. Every child needs a chance.
Most of us don't really get to see places where they have a whole bunch of art, and having a famous artist come in and actually show his techniques to us, that's a blessing.
One of the coolest things you can do in school, especially high school. I mean, I've got access to all this stuff for free and got to do something, like I said, it was basically just a childhood dream for free. I don't know, I always like to think of it as a once-in-a-lifetime kind of opportunity. And I would love to actually work as a blacksmith, and this is an invaluable experience to do that, which I don't really get anywhere else.
That's a good thing as kind of a form of therapy. That's how I feel it is. You know, sometimes when I'm angry or happy, I kind of just paint or draw, So I think that helps a lot of students to let their feelings out and put it and make it into something beautiful, I guess.
All of the learning that occurs early on in early education has to do with art and creativity. And I'm starting to think about it now. I get emotional because I know that not all children have that opportunity. And we are one entity that's giving them that opportunity.
Providing an opportunity for kids to express whatever is going on inside is so hugely valuable, because I think there's so many things that even I as an adult experience that I don't know how to put into words, or I maybe don't want to put into words. I don't maybe want to tell you my deep, dark, whatever, but if I can pour it into my artwork, whether it's ugly, angry, happy, beautiful, I think that there's just a lot of our world that we don't have to kind of funnel into being into words. It can be colors, it can be shapes and textures and layers, and I think giving kids the opportunity to kind of really feel like what it is to express themselves in any given day, what's going on for them, is just a huge gift.
The whole experience just underlines something I've always known, but see all the more here, is art is essential in our life, and especially for students. It opens their eyes up to the world. They find their place in the world, and I hope that they take this experience and do some very cool things in the future. They're really neat kids.
The ARTsmart Community Studio has really become a community resource. It helps us serve our mission of empowering and transforming the lives of our students through this wonderful, enriching learning environment. It really gives them an opportunity to grow and thrive and learn a lot more about themselves. And many of our students really feel like this is their studio. They take a lot of ownership in it and are very proud of their time and their work here. And it trickles down into being a family resource as well. So the families see the pride in their students here, and our programs are very consistent and accessible to all families. They're affordable and in a centrally located neighborhood. And so we have many, many families that return each year and have become a part of our ARTsmart community. We've started using the space in a lot of different ways. It's a very flexible space. And we see a lot of possibilities in the future to use it as a resource for the community.
ARTsmart was started years ago. Some galleries got together, decided, because at the time there weren't any monies going into the schools, and whatever the students had, the teachers got it out of their own pockets. And that's just not right. But that has changed. There are art teachers and art classes in the schools, but we also contribute so much after school, in school. Some of the schools that don't have classes, we go and teach. So we are making it happen.
We really appreciate ARTsmart always having our back, seeing that we are funded and that the arts are what carries a student many times through their high school years. And ARTsmart has just been awesome to continue with that vision.
This is the ARTsmart Capital Campaign. Our goal is to reach $1 million in 5 years. Each puzzle piece is worth $10,000, and we're building from the foundation up into the sky.
How do you prove the joy that's happening here, or the value that's coming out of this, that kids are learning to feel confident in expressing themselves, or that they're just feeling excited about going into that space instead of dreading it? I think that we're looking at, the joy of expression is hard to quantify, so it's hard to have that in a statistic. It's hard work. We're providing not only a safe spot for kids, oftentimes like our after-school programs, just a place to be where they feel seen and heard and appreciated. And there's so many different aspects of what this program does. It expands the youth detention program. We do a lot of after-school programs where these kids, they wouldn't have anywhere else to go. So for me to feel like we're not only are we providing something usually joyful and entertaining, but it's also a place where they just feel like there's an adult there that cares about them, that greets them at the door and pays attention to what they're making. So that's all part of our vocabulary with the program, is to really identify, wow, what are you actually, look at your choices today, not just good job, it's really like, wow, you're using a lot of contrasting colors, or you're putting a lot of patterns. There's a lot of like really direct comments and attention given to what the students are really doing, and I think that makes a big difference for them to feel like they're being seen.
When you see the smiles on these kids' faces, and when you see the gratitude of them thanking you and knowing the enjoyment that they've gotten out of their experiences with ARTsmart, the teachers, the community connected to all of this. I don't think there are any other words to say that we make a difference, and the kids know we do.
It's very gratifying to be a part of a project like this.
It's a wonderful gift that we must give back to this community. So whatever I can do in my small part, I'm going to do.
I do think that, ARTsmart is not temporary. They're here to stay. The building is just one way to prove it. As an architect, my world is a visual world. And so I felt like if we created a vision of what ARTsmart is, and it's exemplified by what we've done in the building so far, that this will transfer to the teachers, it'll transfer to the kids, it will further inspire the people in ARTsmart to carry forth with their mission, to expand that mission. And it also gives us a permanent place to show people the commitment that they have.
The idea that we can kind of expand, and this can be a place where, we can have ceramics, we can have maybe a couple different classrooms, so we can have a space for maybe the older kids as well as the younger kids, and there can maybe be a little more overlapping. They can even just see the work the older kids are doing. It might be up on the walls or whatever. The fact that we have now a separate room for the library, it's nice that we have a little more room to expand. Hopefully we'll have some place for the kids to play outside. That's one of my dreams.
I get joy in seeing the projects that the kids do. I get joy in seeing them create something in their excitement. And this is my studio, one little girl said.
Their issues at home are huge. They're tragic oftentimes, or they may be excited and happy, but oftentimes we're kind of targeting that high-risk, low-income community. And so we're seeing kids that have, some really, really serious issues that are happening. And I have so many kids who come up to me. In fact, I had a kid put a note in my pocket the other day, and it said, to Melinda, and inside it said, "I like art class." It's heart work.